Hello and welcome to the concept video for 1.1 representing rational numbers on a number line from course 2A of Singapore Math. In this video, I'll explain you the basic concepts from the whole chapter so that you understand it well and you are able to apply it to the independent practice videos that we have recorded separately. Once you understand these concepts, the independent practice becomes much easier for you to solve. So I've summarized all the important concepts for this chapter over here. Let's get started. Here we have three basic subtopics. So let's get started with absolute value. When we say absolute value, basically it is kind of a distance from one number to the other number, and distance is never negative, it is always positive. It means that for absolute value we always treat numbers as positive, and the way to write this is 4 like this, and this represents absolute value. So if I have a negative number, let's say minus 2.5, the answer is going to be 2.5 because we are taking the absolute value. So doing absolute value is very easy, just treating numbers as positive, and we always write in this notation. An absolute value is done. Let's move to the next, rational numbers number line. Basically you need to use your ruler like this and you draw a number line here and mark your points. One marking here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess that should be enough for us now. Let's say this is 0 here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you're moving to the right side, you go positive. When you move to the left side, you are going negative. So that's minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, and so on. So that's how you mark on the number line. Let's think of some numbers that we want to plot here. Let's say minus 5, one of the numbers. Minus 1.5, 0, 4.5. Let's plot these four numbers. How do we plot them? We know minus 5 is here, so that's easy one to do. 0 is here, that's also done. So these two numbers are done. Now to mark 1.5, we have to go between 1 and 2 here, between these numbers. So you can get your ruler back and see where exactly it is. So marking 1 centimeter as 1 unit is a good idea. So my center point is going to be somewhere here. So this is my 1.5 minus 1.5 and 4.5. Likewise, you can again place your ruler, but I'm not doing that here now because I know it's the center point. So that's how you mark. And if you have numbers like, for example, here we are at 0 and you have to mark 0.7. 0.5 is here. So 2 point further, right? That's how you mark 0.7. So this is how you are supposed to mark numbers on the number line. Let's move to the last part, which says integers, fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals, representing them in the form of m over n format. To begin with, we take mixed number. What are mixed numbers? Mixed numbers are usually represented as, for example, 3, 4 over 5. Let's take that as an example. So that's a mixed number. Now we need to convert this mixed number in the format of m over n. And how do we do this? I'm going to give you a simple trick here that will make it much easier. Let's say this is A, that's B, and that's C. So clockwise you are going A, B, C. Now the formula for this is AC, air conditioning, plus B, which was on the top, and C on the bottom, which was already on the bottom. So numerator was B, which stays there, and C was denominator, which goes down. You need to know what is numerator and what is a denominator. Here m represents numerator and n represents denominator. Now let's convert this mixed number in the fraction format m over n. So the formula is here, A times C. Our A is 3 and C is 5. And then plus B, our B is 4 divided by C, which is 5. So you just have to substitute the values here. Remember this, and it is much simpler, which is equal to 3 times 5 is 15 plus 4 as it is and 5 at the bottom, which gives us 19 over 5, and it's done. So that's how you convert a mixed number into a fraction. We now move to integers. How do we convert integers into a fraction? You know what are integers? Like 4 is an integer here. How do we convert this into a fraction? There's just one number out there. What is our numerator? What is our denominator? So it is very simple. We all know any number divided by 1 is always a number. So this is how you get your fraction. So it's basically whatever number you have, x, you have to simply write 1 below that. That's how you get your fraction. If it was minus 3, what are you going to do? Just write 1 over there. If it was, let's say, 19 over 1, that's how you convert integers to fractions. Now the next part here, decimals. How do we convert decimals? Let's understand that with examples. I'm taking examples to help you understand these concepts better. Let's say 0.4, that's a decimal, right? Now how do I make it a fraction? I'll write 4 and then a line over there, so 4 becomes my numerator, and in the denominator I have to write something because 0.4 is not 4. So I'm going to write here 10, and that's my denominator. How do I know it is 10? Well, here do you see how many digits are there after a decimal point? Just 1. And that's where after 1 here I'm putting 1 0. So number of zeros will be equal to the number of decimal digits. Let's take another example. If it was 0.44, I'm going to write 44 here as it is over how many digits? 2. I'm going to write 100. That's how you convert it. If it was, for example, 1.4, then you're going to write 14. What will be your denominator? It's going to be still 10 and not 100, because after decimal you have only one digit. That's 4. Next, fractions. That's the last part, and then we end this chapter. Wow, that's going really fast. Fractions. Let's take an example. 125 over 20. It's already a fraction, right? M over n. You see there is a numerator and there is a denominator. But this fraction can be further simplified. And what do I mean when I say it can be further simplified? It means that there are some common factors that needs to be removed. How do you find the factors for this? 125. That is 5 times 25, and 25 is 5 times 5. So these are the factors. You have the prime numbers. So I'm going to write here as 5 times 5 times 5 instead of 125. Same thing I'll do for 20 over here. So 20 is 2 times 10, which is 2 times 5. My factors are 2 times 2 times 5. So I've written the factors and not the numbers as they were. Now the next step is to cancel the common factors. I see 5 here and I see 5 here. So they are cancelled. Now whatever is left is my answer. In the numerator I have 5 times 5, which is 25, and in the denominator I have 2 times 2, which is 4. So that's how you simplify the fraction. It is already in the form of m over n as asked, but here the numbers are big. They have some common factors that you take it out and you simplify, try to reduce it. So like 5 times, this is basically 5 times 25, and this is 5 times 4. So 5 and 5 is out, so 25 upon 4. That's how you simplify. Now there's nothing more common. Remember, there was 1 5 here and 1 5 here. I cannot cancel these 5s. if you cancel one number, whatever that number is in the numerator, you cancel the same number in the denominator. If you cancel 1 5 in numerator, you cancel 1 5 in denominator. So that's how you will be able to delete common factors and simplify it. So this is how the first chapter is done. These were the basic concepts. These concepts have to be really clear. Once you're very clear with these concepts, I'm sure you'll be able to do independent practice much faster and much easily. And of course, you have videos to help you solve independent practices as well. Thank you. Enjoy. Bye bye.